What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Andrew, and this week we're doing a checkup video on our Caiman Lizard Neptune. We're gonna see how he's fitting in this new awesome enclosure we have for him. I'm Andrew Edwards. I've spent most of my life learning about animals. And now, focusing on education, breeding, care, and the discovering of new animals. Welcome to Andrew's Reptile Arc. So guys, this is Neptune, our Caiman Lizard. He's been here for about a few weeks now, and this is his awesome enclosure. We have this top section right here that he can climb in, and basking platform is over there. And he also has a ramp to get into the water with a turtle basking platform, but it's just a ramp, and that's how he gets into our aquarium. That's the second part of his enclosure. This is a 125-gallon aquarium. These guys are awesome swimmers, so they really can go underwater. I have released some videos on it, but these guys mainly eat snails in the wild, so they are very slow animals. I'm gonna try and get him down. Today is his feeding day, so he should be pretty interested. Or not. Well, it is his feeding day, but this is the second time we're filming with him, so he might be a little shy about the camera. You can see a discoloration on his face, and that's because he's shedding. So that will turn into a nice bright red. Let's see if he'll come. Come on. Come on, Neptune. Touch his tail a little bit. So Neptune is a baby, but he's about 14 inches long. These guys do max out at around 5 feet, so he has a lot of growing to do. And that's if he is a boy. I think he is a... Oh. Coming down? No? We'll wait for him to come down, but they do max out around 5 feet, but that is a male. We're not really sure if he's a male. It would be really cool if he was, because he gets nice and big, but that would mean he would outgrow this enclosure. And you can see all these fish. Now these are tropical fish in here, and they're a community setting, so they're all community fish. We have a few ballas, denison barbs, angelfish, grommies, neon tetras, so they glow in the dark. So they'll do really well with Caiman lizards. They don't attack them. And even then, I'm pretty sure you can keep Caiman lizards with cichlids and stuff. And you really don't have to treat the water any differently now that he's here. You can see this awesome cork bark creates a little ramp for him to get up. And these guys are very, very good climbers. Oh! Just went after the camera! These guys are awesome climbers. They really have sharp nails that they can climb with, and I don't know why he lunged like that. He might be a little defensive of the camera. And he's shedding a little bit on his back there. Hopefully we can get him to come down. Normally he stays about right here, and then we feed him right here. Here's the light. We have just a Exoterra solar glow. It's a mercury vapor bulb, so it has UVB in it as well. And these guys do need UVB. Most reptiles do. So if you guys are keeping one of these, definitely UVB is a very necessary, as well as a lot of climbing space and swimming space. We also do have a, what do you call this? It's kind of like a cave for snakes in case he ever goes in there to hide. He really doesn't hide all that much. These guys are diurnal, so they're out most of the day. He's just right up here. He is very friendly in comparison to what I thought he was going to be. Some people say these guys are not very friendly animals, and I think that's just if you raise them that way. Just like all tegus, they're very intelligent. They can recognize their owners. and these guys are no exception. They belong to the tegu family. You can see that black tongue flicking out. Let's focus on my fingers more than anything. And they have that forked tongue. So they do have that Jacobson's organ back there, and that really lets them determine everything, all the information that they're pulling in from their tongue. You saw that was a little tail flick, that was a little defensive thing. Kind of like, don't come near me, but he will have to get used to the camera eventually, so I'm not going to stress him out too much. But we can kind of feed him right now, and hopefully we can get him down so we can talk about how he eats. These guys are very specialized eaters. So I'll go get some shrimp for this guy. So we're feeding him shrimp right now with no calcium powder or anything on there. See, they really use that tongue. And then they chew up the food because they don't actually have any sharp teeth of any kind. So it's just molars. And they use their head to, they cock it back like that to actually allow the food to drop further down their mouth. So they can use those molars to crunch it up. In the wild, they use these teeth to actually break shells apart for snails. And then they ingest just the meat to a shell, or just the meat to a snail. I'm gonna try and get him on me. Hopefully I can let him go. I need a bunch of, need a platform right here. Let's try and lift him. There we go. So as you can see, he's not that shy anymore. Once food is involved, he really... Oh, he dropped it.
Do you want me to help you?
Yeah. Now, because of his size, we're only feeding him 2 shrimp. But when he gets older, he's obviously going to eat more. But for now, that's all we're really feeding him. You can see him chewing it up. But for a lizard that we're filming with for the first time, he's actually really not that scared. This is 2-in-1 here. Got a little bit on his cheek. Oh, there you go. It got off his foot. Now we will do diet videos later, but let's see if we can get him outside the cage here. There we go. Got a little table right here. Oh, oh. Try and get him back. You can see it, him throwing it back. And And you could really see the color difference between the head and the rest of the body. The rest of the body's a greeny color, and his head's obviously that nice orange. Some will have a better orange than others. And some of them really don't have that much of an orange head. You can see he already knows the difference between me and food, which is amazing. Some animals could do that, some can't, but it's very important that they know the difference when you are feeding and handling at the same time. Some people don't recommend that, but I think it's pretty fine with some reptiles. Not all of them you could do it with, but these guys are highly intelligent. They, like I said, they do belong to the tegu family, so they are intelligent for reptiles and intelligent for animals in general. And you can see that little ramp for him to go down. Now, all of this is custom made. We did make it. There's a background on the back. It's actually a waterfall. I didn't mention that in the last video. But this is all custom made, except for the glass tank, obviously. So this cage is about 6 feet long. I think it's 31 inches high, but I might be wrong on that. And it's 22 inches deep. So it is quite a big tank, and the more branches you put in obviously gives him more climbing room, which does appear to make the cage bigger in his eyes. Obviously it crowds a little bit in ours. So that's why there's very few branches right now, but we will be adding to the cage later to make maybe a branch right here going up to that central area. Back there is where he normally hides, on that branch. So he is up off the ground, or he feels up off the ground. So he feels kind of safe, but still close enough to the water. In the wild, these guys really spend a lot, if not the majority of their time in the water, around the water, or I guess near the water in general. So they really spend most of their time searching for food down there. You can see they do have very good claws. They can grab things. And he is investigating the lock. These guys are very curious, like a normal tegu. So they are going to spend most of their time exploring, even underwater. He does sleep in this back corner, so they can sleep under the water. They just keep their two nostrils above. You can see the little nostrils. I don't want to poke him because he isn't that tame yet, but you can see the two nostrils in the front, and they just keep these above the water, close their eyes, and they can sleep perfectly fine. And the fish don't really bother him while he sleeps. Obviously, he is an armored, big animal. Not that many fish prey upon caimans, especially ones you keep as pets. They just don't get that big. A lot of these fish max out around a foot. But you didn't come here to talk about fish. You came here to talk about Caiman lizards. So you can see the armoring on the back, and that's really where they get their name from. So they got the name Caiman Lizard because of the similarities to dwarf caimans or black caimans where they're found. And Charlie is a dwarf caiman that's downstairs. If you want to go see his videos, go check those out. They're on the channel. So these guys would occupy the same waters, which is really cool, but also kind of dangerous for him. They're not that popular of a diet for a caiman, a dwarf caiman, but they still can eat them. So not bad for a video, or a first video with this guy. You can see how he's a little bit puffier. They do have that line in their stomach to help it expand, like pretty much all monitor lizards. But obviously we just fed him, so he's not that skinny anymore. You can really see how big he is. I mean, that's my hand. So probably 14, 15 inches. I don't know if he's gonna go in the water. So we also do have 3 filters. We have 1 there, 2 there, because these guys can defecate in the water. So you do want to have really good filtration so that you don't have to change all that water out. Nobody wants to change 125 gallons of water every week. That would be just awful. So yeah, so I think as a first video with Neptune, he's seems to be really fine and he's just gonna warm up. We'll do care videos in future. I just want to show you guys that he's actually relaxing in his cage. He's actually doing quite well. He does come up to say hi to us very frequently. Pretty much most days when I come home, he's down right where he is there exploring the cage, and he's also scratching up against the glass because he does want to be fed. So yeah, anyway, this is, in my opinion, a perfect setup for a juvenile or a baby Caiman lizard. Lots of water, lots of places to climb, and a lot of space. You do want to allow these guys to grow into their enclosures, but by no means is this a permanent enclosure for him. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Head over to our other channels, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and I will see you guys in the next video. See ya.